的に回転する刃が人参、玉ねぎなどをどんどんみじん切りにします。メニューは奥様の工夫次第。
Introducing Popina's amazing Vegematic 2. New improved cutting rings make food cutting easier than ever. Saves you time by slicing whole potatoes in only one stroke. Turns whole onions into zesty thin slices for delicious hamburgers. Slices mushrooms, tasty juliennes from sliced carrots. Turn the dial, slices are automatically thicker. Dial from slice to dice, fast, easy, and sliced onions become diced by the panful. Dice carrots. One stroke dices celery. Over 11 million original Vegematics sold. They must be good.
You know, as well as I do, that ISIL's acts are horrific. They are designed to be. ISIL murders ethnic and religious minorities across Iraq. They murder innocent civilians, humanitarian workers, and journalists. These awful acts have been fully documented, often by the perpetrators themselves. This humanitarian crisis and security threat needs to be dealt with. But when we ask ourselves what Canada should do about it, a lot of tough questions arise. The 2003 Iraq War was waged on false pretenses and flawed intelligence. It was a mission that destabilized the region, sowed further conflict, cost our allies $3 trillion, and cost thousands of people their lives. The world is still dealing with the consequences of that mistake. And let us never forget how that mission was sold to the public. With overheated, moralistic rhetoric that obscured very real flaws in the strategy and the plan to implement it.
Mr. Speaker, the situation in Iraq is moving towards imminent crisis and military action. Canadian forces have been on the ground there for some time. In fact, 150 military personnel are involved in joint command arrangements with British and American troops on the ground. Is this deployment continuing? Will these personnel remain in the event of war with Iraq?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister. If military action proceeds without a new resolution of the Security Council, Canada will not participate.
I thought about this the other day in Parliament when Mr. Harper called the current military campaign in Iraq a noble effort. Back in 2003, he called President Bush's Iraq war a matter of freedom, democracy, and civilization itself. We know the Iraq fiasco haunts the choices we have to make today. But we cannot make the wrong decision now because the wrong decision was made then.
Mr. Speaker, it's very clear that Canada has lost influence and is not vitally included in the planning discussions to liberate the people of Iraq post-Saddam.
Okay. Next, here's another excellent documentary, Plastic Planet. This one, obviously, about the absolute shitload of plastic. What did they say in here that every year on this planet 250 billion tons, 1/4 trillion tons of plastic being produced on this planet every year. Every single ounce of it, every single ounce of it is going to be here probably 100,000 years way after human beings, thanks partly to plastic pollution, are gone. Highly recommend Plastic Planet.
So we end up with piles of garbage. There's a patch of plastic floating around the Pacific twice the size of Texas. Twice the size of Texas. Got 4 times the IQ, too. It's just out there floating around.
There is one word you will never mention as they talk about an entire global industrial civilization supplying the plastic needs of a planet of 7 billion consumers demanding their product, such as this plastic DVD inside this plastic case. I'm dropping you a big hint. It has something to do with the 7 billion consumers of plastic, just like the 7 billion consumers of natural gas. I am consuming natural gas and plastic making this rant. Take a guess what word you will never hear in this environmental documentary. It begins with the letter O.
The other day I saw a pregnant woman who said, I can feel him kicking. He's going to be a soccer player. And whenever you hear that, they're lying. All right? He's going to be a dick. He's already kicking pregnant women.
Hi, Vegomatic Deluxe here. And when I'm done from a hard day at the office, traveling through the chemtrail-laden skies, I like to sit back, poison my lungs and my liver simultaneously, and try and create a community on YouTube. You don't like my vices? I don't much like yours. Sorry, that sounded a little bit harsh. Most vices are simply vices. As long as my vices are not pushed on you and your vices are not pushed on me, we can all get along just fine. I think that we should all just get along fine. Some of you may be disgusted by me sitting here having a cigarette, but you know what? I actually love the way this cigarette tastes. I love the feeling of the smoke going into my lungs and the tar and nicotine sticking to the insides there. You know, the way I look at it, that at my age, if I stopped poisoning myself, I would drop dead immediately. So don't judge, please. And I will not judge you for being a judgmental, right-wing, hypocritical, fanatical moron. But then again, why would you be watching the Vegomatic Show? Welcome to another attempt at making community on YouTube. Now, I picked up a couple of more subscribers, much to my surprise, and somehow, through the internet, they're managing to watch my videos. I mean, I'm absolutely stunned by this. Now, I don't mind people watching my videos, but they're not really my videos. It's a video magazine that I'm trying to start. And if you would like to give me some clips or give me permission, down here, if you're, you know, of the same sort of bent, or if you're not, and if you disagree and you want to be included, I'll treat you fairly. I will not make you look foolish or anything just because you're an idiot. Oh, that's, you know, entirely up to you if you want to behave like an idiot. But anyway, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is I'm very thankful for the friends I have made on YouTube over the years, and been trying to make it more of a family affair, so to speak. People that are fairly progressive-minded, reasonably intelligent, and something to say. Now, I have something to say. I should be allowed to say it. But there's so many controls on even the internet these days that, and we're, we're quite aware of it, I guess, in one way or another. Some people are aware of it. YouTube, please stop sending me libertarian stuff. All your recommended stuff is crap. What is it? Do I look like a libertarian? Do I look like a Ron Paul supporter? I went to school. Can't fool me. I done graduated the 6th grade. I can see through that crap. I can see through the Koch brothers. Oh, those good guys, yeah. And it's always the same thing. The isms. Socialism. Oh, socialism. There's an evil, scary word for Americans. It's very interesting how definitions get bandied about. Well, Hitler, the Nazis, they were National Socialists. They were socialists, see? Socialist is bad. And socialist, communist, Nazi, it's all the same. It's all the same thing. Yeah, I actually had the misfortune of resting and turning on G. Edward Griffin or whatever the hell this old guy's name is. And he's going on about this, how it's all collectivism. It's all collectivism. It's not based on individuality. In other words, if not everybody in the world is a selfish prick like you, then perhaps you will accept them. Well, libertarianism is a disease, and we can only hope that education is, going to get out there, in spite of the massive propaganda campaign run over YouTube. And Mr. Kurzweil, who wants to become a superhuman, an Uberman. Yeah, well, good luck with that. You want to live forever? Shit, I don't. Not in this shithole.
As my grandpappy always said, even if you don't have $1 to your name, you're never truly poor if you have guns and ski masks.
I've never been interested in having a large amount of viewership or anything like that. So it's not, I don't monetize my videos in any way or anything like that. But I do think that certain viewpoints should be presented to a larger audience. And that's all I'm doing to say that people who still believe that evolution, the evolution of species, I tend to reject any kind of absolutist view of the origin of the universe and so on, because there can never be such a thing. Everything that we do as a human species, looking at this outside world, can never be 100% objective or true. It's an impossibility. Somehow, some unproven fact or some unsubstantiated theory, it's just basically, it's a nutty position to take. Okay, there are hundreds and thousands of studies which prove basically that evolution has taken place. Nobody's even talking in these circles about the origin of the universe. It has nothing to do with the origin of the universe.
it is. It's just all shit. It's just ad dollars. I mean, that's what it comes down to. That's why the news is what it is, just where the ads coming from. Advertising, we apparently take in between 1,000, 3,000 ads per day if you count brand names and all that shit. And you don't think of the collective effect that has on our unconscious mind. I mean, most people accept the placebo effect is very powerful. Studies show it's very powerful. So what do you think taking in that much advertising is doing to us as a whole? Because ads are dickheads. Like, imagine if an ad were a person, it would be very obvious. It would be very obvious. If an ad were a guy just walking up to you, just like, hey, 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 hey! If you wore these pants, then the hot girls would fuck you. Yeah, hot girls. Not that ugly broad you call a girlfriend. By the way, can you tell her to do something about her hair, maybe lose a little weight? Which she could do if she just took these pills. By the way, you happy with your penis size? Are you? If you are, that's cool. A lot of women are into, what do you call that, fun size. A lot of women are into fun size. I haven't met any, but I'm sure they're out there. But listen, if you change your mind, just take a couple of these, and in 2 weeks, you will have to hire people to help you carry your cock around.
Inflation rate 2%. Yeah. Anybody been at a grocery store lately? Oh, I forgot. Groceries aren't included in the basket of goods that they use for the inflation rate. Neither are fuel, taxes, things like electricity, stuff that's, you don't need it, right? You can maybe generate your own or something. I don't know. But anyway, 2% inflation rate. So, of course, this becomes a prime bargaining tool when it comes to any kind of labor relations. You want a raise? Well, we'll give you 2%. And the actual real inflation rate, like Statistics Canada is this incredibly moronic government department that probably can't count to 10 if they use their fingers. And they say that we have a 2% inflation rate.